That tastes like Halloween. Hello and welcome back to another video, vlog type video. I feel that whenever I actually film vlogs for you guys, I always do them in my bedroom, but hey, it's nice. It's honestly where I get most of my crafting done. Yes, I have a craft room, but it lacks a nice comfy couch that I have yet to source. Anyway, I sit or stand before you today to say that the first week of October is nearly done and I need to get moving with Halloween plans. Not just Halloween plans, but also the making of a trash taste sweater / long sleeve shirt for my husband. That will be a separate video. I'm just giving you a little sneak peek in case you're interested in following along with that journey. But we are here for the All Hallows Eve. So this year, like last year, we are going to a friend's Halloween party. So we gotta dress up because that's a rule. If you go to a Halloween party, you gotta dress up. I'm sorry. And so this year I thought I would be a mushroom fairy. If you've been here a while, you know that I love mushrooms. I love eating mushrooms. I love decorating with mushrooms. I love making mushrooms. It's the mushroom life for me. Yes, I've even had mushroom teas. Some of them are good, some of them are dirt tasting, but still good for you, so you put up with it. Anyway, I got lost in my mushroom. I got lost in my mushroomscape. The thing is, yes, I wanted to make a mushroom fairy. So what we need for a mushroom fairy costume is a mushroom hat. And unlike the rest of the internet, which is going crazy crochet making this type of mushroom hat, I obviously had to crochet one. And this is the Twisted Toadstool hat pattern by the Twisted Hatter, some number on Instagram, or her name's actually Natalie Allen. I've started it. I haven't finished it. Like, this is supposed to have mushrooms decorated on it, and it's supposed to have some gills, and I need to do something about my brim because it is pretty floppy. That is due to my gauge, not the pattern's fault. Okay, and what else do we need? Well, I have an idea in mind of what I want to look like. But I wanted to set myself the challenge of using second-hand items or repurposing items that I already own. Enter my quinceañera dress. Yes, I've had this dress for 17 years because quinceañera means 15 years old. I've had this dress for 17 years in my home in Puerto Rico, and Mom shipped it to me because we're gonna desecrate it. I mean, we're going to repurpose it. So we have a lot to do and very limited time to do them. Yeah, let's get to it. So today, October 6th, the 6th of October, I knew that. We are gonna be working on the gills, or you know, the under ruffle for this. So pattern, yarn, because I had it in stash, and I think it looked kind of cute, and it gives it a more earthy vibe to the thing we're gonna attempt. Oh, and just in case you're very familiar with quinceañeras and you're wondering why my dress wasn't white, well, because I wanted to be fairy. I wanted to be Tinkerbell, so yeah, green and forest themes have always been in here. Let's crochet. It's still the same day. It's just taking me so long to just do 3 rounds of this. Like, it's taken too much to get into a flow and done 3 rounds of that, and I'm sleepy. I'm also thinking about going to eat a chocolate cake. I'll just see you guys tomorrow. So, with every step I complete of this mushroom or twisted toadstool hat pattern, I'm just like, so well thought out. I'm just gonna play around and modify this look. So so this has a zipper up till here, and I'm gonna have to cut right here and then right here, and then just bring the skirt up. Okay, it's time to, and I'm scared because as you can see, the layers on this dress aren't really attached to each other except for right on this dart. So I'm thinking it might be a better bet to like just cut each layer individually, go around, and then come back. We'll see how I this up. Okay, so I'm thinking of treating this fabric like a circle skirt. But as I have discovered, there are 3 layers here. So since each of these layers is just super flimsy and slippy slidey, what I think is that I'm going to treat each skirt individually. So I'm going to gather each skirt individually and then sew them all together to one elastic waistband, hopefully a very sturdy one. I'm using the same method that I used to create this skirt, which was cut a piece of elastic to the size of my waist. In this case, it'll be my high waist because I want this to be pretty high up. Anyway, I don't know if that made sense. And then I literally just stitch in the ditch of the gathers. And I like to do that twice, just because I always panic that things can't be sewed correctly. So I think that's the way I'm gonna go with this. Honestly, this skirt feels much heavier than this skirt, so I think we can safely go that route. So right now it is T-length size, and part of me feels like I should make it shorter because I do want it shorter. But also part of me feels that I should give myself a little bit of room for mistakes because it is easy to cut fabric if it's too long, but it is a lot less easy to add fabric if you cut it too short. So I think I'm just gonna gather it, and I'm gonna do something crazy and I'm gonna gather it by hand because it is a work week day for my husband and my sewing machine is in his office. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna gather by hand, which is gonna be murder on my wrist. And thus we proceed with our wrist murdering adventures. I don't honestly know how the Victorian people did all these fancy gathers by hand, but torture. Hi, me. So it's still the same day and you're very close to my face right now. I hope you don't mind. But, ¿qué les digo? So I did the gathering, as you saw, and I'm just preparing to gather the top part, tulle part, and I was trying to decide whether to go with an elastic waistband or to crochet a waistband to have some more crochet in the outfit. And I have the perfect color for it. And then I thought, why don't I crochet the top bust instead of using the bust that I already have? Why am I like this? Do I want to go the easy way, which is obviously just using the bust that I cut from the dress, or do I want to torture myself and try and crochet a bust in less than a week's time? Alright, that is it for today. I have gathered the 3 layers of the skirt and I've pinned them all together to the elastic that I'm going to be using, and I've also stitched the bottom of the bodice, so that is all good to go. As you can tell, I desisted from starting a crochet top just because I know I actually don't have the time to make that in 3 days. So yeah, I'm excited to see how this turns out. I will add another crochet element to this skirt that's not just, or outfit I should say, that's not just the hat, which I do need to finish. But anyway, I will see you either tomorrow or later on this week to continue this adventure. Fit check! So here it is. I'm actually pretty happy with the asymmetry. This was not intentional at all. As you can see, I don't cut very straight. But you know, it works going with it. The waistband I started off camera, so you didn't catch any of my hilariously inappropriate faces or any of my non-PG cursing, you know, because me and sewing. Haha! Anyway, I'm not too happy with the waistband because it doesn't actually have a lot of stretch. So obviously it's also a stark white color. So I am going to crochet a faux waistband to sew on top of this elastic to kind of make it all one cohesive, fairy piece. Yep. Moments after trying on my outfit, I realized I had no foliage to speak of. So on the hunt for foliage we go. And while this garland would have made a wonderful addition to my costume, it was a bit beyond my monetary means, so it had to stay behind. Being very proud of myself for finding this piece at a great price. I didn't actually end up using it because my husband said it made him very uncomfortable, so. Okay, parking lot confessions. Guys, when did hot glue become $3.29 for 10 sticks? Am I that out of touch with the world? Because I remember paying 99 cents for hot glue sticks. Okay, so time for some Joanne's purchase confessionals. I bought this because I'm going to cut these up and add them to my bodice so that I can have foliage that I didn't make. And of course, important. Let's go home and crochet. I said I wanted to add more crochet, so I decided to use a method of freeform crochet and also short rows to make the bodice look a bit like a tree trunk. A crochet waistband on top of the elastic just for more crochet goodness in this Woodland Fairy costume. Finish up our hat, we need to sew some mushrooms. So here I decided to go for a bit of a chicken of the woods vibes, I think it's called. Anyway, you know those mushrooms that you see them grouped together and they look a bit like half circles? So that's what I did here. I crocheted half circles, left long tails to sew them up, and I also used some of the mushrooms provided in the Twisted Toadstool hat pattern. For transparency's sake, I had no plans when I started this project, okay? It's been a lot of let's futz around to find out, as Rachel Maxey would say. There were a vague idea of woodland creatures and using this hat and a dress, and then the rest I am just kind of playing around and finding out. Hello and welcome back for some bodice work. No, it is not plastic surgery. On me anyway, it's more on my bodice. Essentially I want to do a crochet overlay so that my bodice looks less fairy tale princess, more Harfoot princess. So basically I want to look like a walking forest. So let's continue not knowing what we're doing and just hoping it works. Friends, we have now reached the point of the project where we're getting tired of the hand sewing and we're gonna move on to the big guns, or in my case, the very small guns, but yeah, it's on to gluing, so if you are against hot gluing on fabric or handmade things, look away now. But my tendonitis is literally saying you cannot pass another thread through the needle. Time to try on this monstrosity. Yes, I said monstrosity. Thank you. I'll be here. In order to keep this G, I will not show you what struggle it was to get here, but look at her. We're getting somewhere. I really, really like it. I'm just gonna keep playing around with it. In a little glen under a rosemary bush, you will find a tiny, tiny little creature known as a woodland fairy. And that, my crafty friends, is the end of this year's Halloween costume. I hope that you enjoyed watching this chaotic make with me. As always, thank you so much for spending a little bit of crafty time with me. And if you are new here, I hope you enjoyed my chaotic making process because yes, I'm usually chaos. If you thought I was organized, no, I am just chaos. Anyway, thank you so much for spending a little bit of crafty time with me. I greatly enjoyed making this year's Halloween costume. I think my favorite part of it was honestly the chaos and just making things up as I had conversations with my husband and my mom and hearing their feedback on why it didn't look like a woodland fairy first and what changes might be enacted to make it more of a woodland fairy costume. So I think that was my favorite part of the process, honestly, just getting all that feedback and interaction. So overall, I'm very happy with the costume. I may go back and add a bit more mushrooms to the skirt because I think it's missing it. And there are several patterns I'm looking at. I'll link the patterns down below. Just please remember that this video is not in any way sponsored by any of the companies that I have mentioned or any of the designers that I have mentioned. I pay for my own things, and yeah, if a video ever is sponsored, you will hear me tell you. Also, please do not forget that during the month of October, we are releasing weekly videos. Okay, so I don't exactly remember where we were before my dog started barking. Oh yes, weekly videos. Please do not forget that during the month of October, let's pause for Ichiro's water break. Let's try that again for the third time. Please do not forget that during the month of October, we are releasing weekly videos, just weekly crafty videos. Last week, I released the Chaotic Making of a Trash Taste podcast sweater, and it was great to find out that some of you actually watched Trash Taste. That was brilliant. And this week, of course, is the Halloween costume. And what's coming next week? Well, if you're a newsletter subscriber, you may already know. And if you're not, then suspense! We need it! So yes, don't forget to tune in next week. Thank you so much for choosing to spend a little bit of crafty time with me. I know you probably thinking you might be insincere, but it's really not. I'm grateful for those of you that choose to spend a little bit of crafty time with me. Anyway, I will see you all next week for another video, and until we meet again, happy crafting and goodbye. That's a strong dirt smell. Oh, this feels so weird. Oh my god. I don't actually want to touch this. Ooh. And we're picking this up because those are now $4.